Well, yeah, what time it is? Check the time. No, late start this morning. 6:31. It is the 31st, I think. No, is it June 1st? I don't know what day it is. Oh, hummingbird just came in. Nice. Guess I scared it. Went to back feeder. Late start this morning. Flynn tried to get me up, but I was too tired. I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night. I was beat. I was trimming, pruning, or whatever you call it, trees. The branches were taking over the driveway here, so cut the branches up back and then chip them. This guy here I trimmed. Did major work on the two back there. They were down to the ground. The branches were pretty big. So there's two back here, three back here, four back here that I trimmed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. There's two more back here. Hard to see, hard to tell. But there's two back there. You see a little pile of chippings there. The two, you might see the cuts on the trees. They were down to the ground. Very difficult to mow around them. But, yeah, I knocked myself out. And when I'm done putting the equipment away, I always take a cool down lap on the ATV. So I took a ride up towards Eli's place, ow, and then down to Antonio's place. I didn't know whether Antonio and Courtney would still be there, but they were gone. I noticed that they left their generator out. And Rita contacted Courtney. She said, yeah, I had a problem with it, so I left it out. They asked where they could get it serviced. Then we watched the weather. So we were going to have a fair amount of rain overnight. And Flynn's in stalking mode. And those generators, my generators, say they're not designed to be out in the weather. I don't know enough about Antonio's, but I didn't want to compound the problem by having it getting soaked. So I headed back out to the barn with the cart on the ATV. Drove down there. Come on, Flynn. What are you doing? Don't come to the tree. You're going to get all wet. He's on the move. So I went down there with the cart. I was able to, it's a tipping cart, tilting cart. So I was able to tilt the cart back down where the back is on the ground. And able to coerce the generator into the cart. Once it's in the cart, it's a bitch to get the cart back up into a locking position, but I was able to do that. Used a tie down strap to hold it in place and slowly brought it back up to the barn. So it's in the barn, out of the weather. Didn't try and start it. It's supposed to rain all day. Actually, it's supposed to be raining now. But I'll take a rain-free walk with Flynn. That's fine. Yeah, Flynn, you peed on that rock yesterday. Yeah, do it again. Good creature of habit. Must have had a fair amount of rain because Flynn's even leaving tracks in the mud. He didn't take care of business on the last walk last night. So I'm sure he has to go this morning. We gave him scraps from dinner. We had our smoked pork chops we gotten from Maple Lane Farms. I swear each one of these pork chops is a pound, if not more. Grill them up on the barbecue. We made some mashed potatoes and corn, some applesauce, and that was more than enough for me. Probably should have left half of it and had leftovers, but it was too good. So, come on, buddy, get out of there. You can smell that same spot again. Well, I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes. My ankles are killing me. So while I was working the chipper, after I got done with the first series of trees, I stopped to get a drink and have some lunch, and I heard heavy equipment. Well, I heard something. It wasn't heavy equipment, it was a guy with a tractor and a bush hog up here at Jenny's. So before I had my sandwich, I jumped on the ATV and just headed up here to see what they were doing. I'm nosy like that. And I thought it was going to be Peter Pickering, but it was a Ford, I don't know, F-350 or F-250 with an equipment trailer. And he was working the field with his tractor and bush hog. So headed back home on ATV. Inside, had my sandwich, and Flynn needed his midday walk. Ow. So wanted to see what kind of progress the guy was making. Boy, I'm gonna have all sorts of mud on the bottom of my feet. So Flynn and I came up this way, and the guy was working, but no sooner did we get past Jenny's driveway than the guy packed up his tractor on the trailer and took off. Can't understand. You can see here he made 2 passes back and forth on the edge of the road. You can get the into any of these red weeds. I think it's just cold enough that the mosquitoes aren't out. We did the roadside over there, third in here a little bit. Then a lot of clearing over here, the south side of the driveway. So I asked Jenny if he was done, but she said he's got to come back. She doesn't know when he's coming back. That was my pirouette. And then if you get a bush hog the place. That bird's back in the sun. Yeah, I can see it, you can't see it. Resolution on this camera. It's only 1080p. I'm sure you can hear that. Let's see if the bird is a creature of habit. Well, we can already tell he is because he's on the sign every morning, tapping out Morse code. Let's see if he flies from the sign up to the power pole. Yep, there he goes. Nope, he went to the trees. Okay. I guess he didn't like my approaching. See, you got different mud over here in Prentice on the road. They are aggressive in gritting the road in the winter, so you have this very fine dirt or grit, and you get this kind of mud. This will up on the chassis, your truck, your car. So does the mud from Carol. Oh boy, I am a dragon today. Usually I turn around at the sign and head back, but Flynn is Flynn's on a mission. Yeah, if I turn around the sign and come back, it's usually 2,300 steps or something like that. Going up here to probably 2,700 steps. That's up and back. Well, Breda's going down to Snowmobile Club today, or at least that's her plan. Do some sewing or something with the girls. If the rain starts again. I got a pint of blueberries in the fridge I gotta cook up with the muffins. Flynn, where you going? Flynn, we're going too far. Come on, let's go back to the house. Flynn, in the house. Come on. Yeah, you're stopping on the mosquitoes. Come out. In the house. Yeah, they're getting in your ears. Yeah, you can see how they even live in tracks. I'll change hands here. Yeah, depends on how much. Come on, bud. We're gonna be going. Come on, over here. Let's come. Whoa. Gotta watch out. Flynn doesn't walk in the glass there. Sit down. Flynn. Sit. Sit. He's down. You must be late for work. Well, thankfully the ground is damp, or else we would have thrown up a bunch of dust. That's why I move up to the driveway to get out of the way. I don't know which way the wind was blowing, but it didn't matter because there's no dust with the mud like this. Oh boy, oh boy. You can see quite a bit of mud there. And that's definitely from the grit. Yeah, if you're not careful when you're driving, you get off to the side into that mud, it's going to pull you right off the road. I have to make sure I take my shoes off as soon as I get inside the door. I don't want the mud all over the place. Oop. I was biting my face. Oh. Well, we use a percolator for our coffee. The old-fashioned thing with the glass bubble on top. And the basket you put your coffee into, and where you see anything? There's nothing there, come. And to put some heat to it until the little pipe inside starts having the bubbles force water up through the pipe and down through the graded basket. So coffee naturally has oils in it, and the coffee pot accumulates that oil on the sides of the basket and everything. So yesterday I used one of those Mr. Clean erasers and brought the coffee pot back to shining stainless steel. So I don't know what effect that's going to have on the taste this morning, but we'll find out in another 10 minutes. By the time we walk down here and back in the house. I think this walk is probably going to be about 25 minutes. But Flynn hasn't taken care of business yet. Actually, it looks like we're going to clear up. And the radar, the forecast had heavy rain throughout the day, right over us, still like it. And from there, southeast. But like I say, the weatherman could be wrong 90% of the time. He still has a job. Come on, buddy, let's go. Look. Yeah, today's going to be a down day. Just need to recuperate here. Give the ankles a break. Even the rabbits aren't out this morning. There were a couple in the driveway, but not many. Yep. He's looking. It's just water. No, get out of there. Drinking water from a puddle. You know, if I won like $300 million in the lottery, I'd pave this road. But I'd make sure I put speed bumps in. Because when I paved it, you know they'd be racing down the road. see, there are a lot of posts over the weekend, holiday weekend. No, it's not a holiday. It's a long weekend that we remember our veterans, not our veterans, the men and women that didn't come back from conflicts. And as far as I was going with that, because there were posts on the ATV complaints that people driving way too fast on the roads. They come up here for their getaway, and they spoil it for everybody else, because then they close down access on roads. This road is 20-mile-an-hour speed limit on ATVs, and up in Prentice drops down to 15 miles an hour. And I think it was 3 or 4 years ago that Linda Gannon and Pauline went around and got petition signed so they can make the road ATV access. And they succeeded. And it was, I think, a 2-year trial, depending on whether people would obey the speed limit and whether it worked out or not, and I think it did. Because it's still ATV access. You can drive from here, right across 169, over 170, then take trails down to Mattawamkeag. Used to be able to go down Mattawamkeag to Crossroads and have lunch down there. Or you could take that down to Tucker Ridge and get down to I think you can take 169 right into Springfield, although there's no ATV access signs there. South of me here is Snowmobile Trail 105, and it's a snowmobile trail, it's not ATV, but people drive trucks and ATVs through there. Right now it's probably not too bad. The red weeds would probably take it over, so you probably get through, but there's going to be some swampy areas. We came through there once on the ATVs all the years back. Yeah, it's not many years, it's maybe 4. Yeah, we were out with Larry, Linda, Charlie, Laura, Bill, and Pauline. I think Ralph. I think his last name was Thompson, I'm not sure. And his daughter, can't remember his daughter's name. 2 rabbits over there, one guy was just eating the new growth from pine trees. But we came through the swampy area. It was a challenge. But we got back. I think I still have a video of us pulling in front of the barn. Yep, actually, Rita had her ATV at the time. The yellow Sportsman 500. That she didn't want to drive, so Larry took over driving that, and she rode with Linda in their Yamaha. But that's it for today. Time for coffee. The mosquitoes are buzzing my ear. Come on, clean the house. Thanks for watching.